The moment this news dropped, the entire NFL world practically stopped breathing. And honestly, Cowboys Nation, I still can't believe the words coming out of my mouth, because what we're witnessing right now is one of the most outrageous, explosive, and flat-out unbelievable moments in modern football history. The Dallas Cowboys, after years of being accused of playing it too safe, of hesitating when it mattered, of never truly pushing their chips into the center of the table, have finally detonated the kind of bomb that sends a shockwave through the league. They have officially acquired Tyreek Hill, the fastest, most electric, most terrifying offensive weapon in the sport. Not rumored, not speculated, not discussed in hushed tones behind the scenes. No, this is real, this is confirmed, and this is going to reshape EVERYTHING about the upcoming NFL season. The kind of blockbuster trade people talk about for decades, not years. Decades, and the very second the alert hit phones, the NFL landscape shifted like tectonic plates cracking under pressure. This isn't just a roster move, it's a defining moment in the franchise's legacy, the type of move that changes reputations, alters destinies, flips power balances, and tells the entire football universe that the Dallas Cowboys aren't just trying to compete, they're trying to dominate at a level that forces other teams to rethink their strategies from top to bottom. I want you to imagine the scene when the first insiders got the call. Front offices scrambling, reporters fumbling for confirmation, group chats exploding, fans blinking in disbelief, and silently, somewhere, Jerry Jones grinning like a man who just found the last Infinity Stone. And honestly, you can't blame him, because this is a move only a handful of owners would even have the guts to attempt. This takes aggression, money, vision, and fearlessness. You don't accidentally trade for Tyreek Hill. You commit to it fully, and the Cowboys just did that in nuclear fashion. And the timing of everything just makes the entire situation even wilder, because apparently the tension between Hill and the Dolphins had been quietly building for weeks. A combination of long-term contract concerns, frustration with the team's offensive direction, and uncertainty about the future of Miami's cap structure. That friction became the perfect window, the sliver of opportunity, and Dallas sprinted through it at full speed. When you break it down, this is the biggest swing the Cowboys have taken since the Herschel Walker era, except this time they're not trading away the superstar, they're getting him. They are pulling in a once-in-a-generation offensive disruptor, someone who forces defensive coordinators to lose sleep and fans to rise off their seats, because every time he touches the ball, the lightning flashes before the thunder. Imagine Dak Prescott walking into the facility, opening his phone, and seeing Tyreek Hill in blue and silver. Imagine CeeDee Lamb realizing defenses can no longer triple-team him on crucial downs. Imagine Micah Parsons screaming in the locker room because he knows the offense is about to put up numbers that let the defense pin its ears back and hunt. Imagine every cornerback in the NFC instantly reconsidering their career choices. This trade isn't just a splash, it's a tidal wave. Think about the chaos defensive coordinators are about to experience when preparing for the Cowboys. Because how do you take away Tyreek Hill without giving CeeDee Lamb easy leverage routes? How do you double Lamb without leaving Hill isolated against a safety he can burn in 2 steps? How do you stay disciplined when Hill goes in pre-snap motion, dragging attention like a magnet, and leaving defenders tipping on their toes, hoping they don't get embarrassed? The Cowboys' offense has officially transformed from a good unit with occasional inconsistencies to a high-speed, high-voltage, stadium-shaking storm. This is the stuff offensive coordinators dream of when they're drawing plays on napkins at 2 a.m. The possibilities are endless: stacked alignments that force mismatches, fake jet sweeps that freeze an entire defense, triple vertical concepts that stretch zones until they snap, screen passes that might go 60 yards because Hill can turn a simple 5-yard touch into a home run. And Dak, who already had one of his most accurate seasons, is now throwing to the single most dangerous separator in football. Defenses can no longer sit on intermediate routes. Safeties cannot creep down. Teams can't blitz as recklessly. Every defensive call now has to factor in the threat of Tyreek simply running past your entire secondary. But what makes this even crazier is the psychological shift this trade produces, not just in Dallas, but across the league. The Eagles suddenly feel pressure they didn't feel yesterday. The 49ers realize they no longer own the NFC in terms of offensive explosiveness. The Lions and Packers, both rising contenders, must now ask themselves whether their young defenses are prepared to deal with Hill's unmatched speed and Lamb's polished consistency. The Cowboys didn't just improve, they changed the equation. They turned the NFC race into a full-on arms race. And speaking of reactions, the players themselves were losing their minds. Doc reportedly celebrated like it was Christmas morning. CD posted multiple emojis that basically said, "Let's burn the league down." Micah Parsons, the emotional centerpiece of the Cowboys' defense, basically went into full hype mode, calling out the rest of the NFL with a message that might as well have said, "Be afraid." Even former Cowboys players were chiming in, saying they'd never seen a move like this in their lifetimes. Social media blew up so fast you'd think the trade broke the internet in half. Fans outside a TNT stadium showed up just to chant, "Let's go." Cars started honking. Bars erupted. Cowboys Nation hasn't been this electrified in years. And it's not just the fan base. Inside the organization, the confidence level is reportedly off the charts. Coaches are already drawing up new plays. Analysts are recalibrating their predictions. And Jerry Jones, oh, you better believe he is soaking in every second of this moment, because this is exactly the kind of legacy move he wants associated with his name. Now, think about what this does to the Cowboys' identity. For years, critics have said the Cowboys were stuck in neutral, good enough to win games, talented enough to get into the playoffs, but never bold enough to make that one franchise-defining move that pushes them over the top. Well, guess what? They just made it. This is the move that tells the world the Cowboys are done playing nice, done being cautious, done taking small steps. This is an all-in declaration that the window is open and must be attacked with every ounce of aggression they can muster. And honestly, it's refreshing. This is the type of firepower a team gets when they're dead serious about contending for a championship. Because make no mistake, this trade isn't about regular season wins. It's not about fantasy football numbers. It's about February. It's about the Lombardi Trophy. It's about planting a flag on the league and saying we're coming for everything. Hill brings championship DNA. He brings experience. He brings fear. He brings chaos. And pairing that with Doc's leadership, Lamb's versatility, Ferguson's reliability, and a line that can protect long enough for roots to develop, that is a recipe for scoreboard explosions. This offense could realistically average numbers we haven't seen since the early Patrick Mahomes era. And while everyone outside of Dallas is panicking, Cowboys Nation is celebrating the birth of an era where excuses evaporate, where expectations rise, where pressure becomes power. Because Tyreek Hill doesn't join your team quietly. He joins loudly, violently, and unapologetically. He tilts the field. He shifts narratives. He forces greatness. And now, he's wearing the star. So buckle up, because the Dallas Cowboys didn't just make a trade, they unleashed a monster. And the NFL is officially on notice.